What's good, Kanekis? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. This one, I'm going to be going through a dashboard that I built to enhance my monthly spending, to change my spending habits. It's something I actually wanted to do a couple months ago, but I got the opportunity to present this, so I will have the opportunities to present this tomorrow at a Power BI event. So I'm looking forward to it. And I was like, yeah, I mean, if I'm practicing it, I might as well do it now. So basically, what this dashboard is supposed to do is it's meant to be an alternative to the traditional way to do monthly household budgets or your company budgets as well in Excel. It's just a spreadsheet. It really is. It's harder to make sense of the data that way, and it's quite intuitive to use. So I'll go through it in a second. But before we get into it, please hit the like button, subscribe as well if you're new and you haven't already. Let's get into it. So this dashboard is basically built using Monzo's data. If you use Monzo as your preferred bank and you export your bank statement, you can either export it as a PDF or as a CSV. The CSV is a comma separated values file, basically an Excel sheet. So the data I'm going to show you is all dummy data, it's all fictitious, but it is based on the template, on the Excel template that Monzo exports your data to. So looking at this dashboard, the dashboard is meant to gamify your spending habits. So at a glance, the first page that it opens up to is your cumulative spending for the month. You can see that in March you spent 527, in April 247, in May £432, and in June £378. And then it shows the median spend for that period, for the 4-month period. And the reason I've chosen median instead of mean, also known as average, is because the median is less sensitive to any outliers. So why is this useful? It essentially helps to plan your future spending. You see that, okay, over the past 4 months, my median spend is £405 in this scenario. It tells you I'm going to need £405 in my account at the very least. This is like a safety net for you, at least £405 in my account. And this is great because you don't actually have to, like, once you've created this, it's the visuals are just there. All you have to do is import the Excel and then it'll tell you. So you don't actually have to sit down and say, okay, I'm calculating this at a certain percentage. If I do this and that, I come to a result. It just tells you, okay, over the past 4 months, the median spend is £405. In the month ahead, please budget for £405. So it's very straightforward. You can also see that, okay, some months you actually did well to save massively. So in the month of April, you reduce your spend massively compared to March. And in May, you're doing well, but then right at the end of the month, your spending spiked. So this view doesn't tell you what exactly you've spent so much on. It just tells you that at the end of the month, there was a massive spike. So this is where the next page comes in, the detailed monthly spend. So going from left to right, top left to bottom right. Top left is it has all the KPIs in it. So that's the key performance indicators. We've got the transactions, which is the number of times you've used your card to spend on something. The income, the amount of money you brought in that month. Your expenses, the amount of money you spent that month. And your savings. So the difference between your income and expenses. The caveat for this is that in this dashboard, I have limited it to only variable costs. So I haven't included rent or fixed bills because that's not really spending habits. But it can be modified to include it. It's just that for this dashboard, I'm focusing purely on spending habits. So the next chart, the next visual is the spending trend. This relates to the transactions and expenses visuals. So the fewer number of bars there are, the fewer number of transactions you've made, the shallower the bar, the smaller the expense. So the way this gamifies your spending is that if you're really trying to save for something important like a car, a house, you want to increase the space between each bar because it says these are days you didn't spend. And you want to make it as shallow as possible because it says that you've spent a lot less. The bottom left shows the categories. The categories are actually verbatim what you see in Monzo. So I haven't edit to the categories. These are actually what it says in Monzo. You've got a whole host of them, from eating out and groceries to charity and entertainment. So in the month of March, this data says, okay, this person ate a lot of food in restaurants or takeaway. So in the month ahead, when you look at this, you say, okay, if I'm trying to save, I need to cut back on eating out. I probably also need to cut back on groceries. Why am I spending almost £100 a month on groceries? And then on the right, you have the expenses by time of day. And you can see that in this data set, this person is spending a lot of money in the afternoons and the evenings. So when they look at this, they say, okay, in the month ahead, if I'm going to try to save as much money as I can, I'm going to really focus on these times of day and then do my best to spend less. So it's about being conscious about your spending around these times of day. So in the month of March, you've seen you've spent this amount, and then April comes along. And you're like, okay, I've got this dashboard in. I'm going to do my best to save, and April comes along. So you can see that, okay, we've had fewer transactions, 5 fewer transactions. Income has come down, but then we spent a lot less. We spent nearly £300 less, and our savings has gone up as well. We've saved £234. And the chart on the bottom left tells us, okay, wow, actually, we did manage to massively cut down on our eating out expenses. And then this is largely what contributed to the massive increase in the savings. But however, groceries has gone up. You're like, okay, I was hoping to spend less on groceries, but I spent more. It does make sense, because actually, if you're eating out less, it means you're going to be cooking more. So you're going to be buying more groceries. Unfortunately, it doesn't include receipts, so you can't actually drill down into the things you bought. You'll have to go to the individual app. So let's say you're using Lidl, you go to the Lidl app, and then you look at the digital receipts on that day that you spend money, and then you see what you bought. The expenses by time of day also shows that in the afternoon and at night, you manage to spend less. You cut it down massively. So you've cut your expenses during these time of days from nearly £200 to as low as £40, roughly £40. So you're doing well. You're on the up. You're doing very well. The next level of the hierarchy tells you it then zooms into the actual time in a given day. So last month, you can see that you were spending a lot more frequently in the evening. It shows the trend going downwards, meaning, okay, in the morning you're not spending a lot, but the evening you're spending more. For example, if you're late night snacking, you're buying food, you're buying, snacks at a grocery store. At night, you might have looked at it in the previous month and went, okay, I want to change my eating habits here. I want to eat cleaner. I don't want to be eating late at night, so I'll be spending less in the evening. So another thing that gamifies your spending, this month you're trying to flatten that slope as much as possible. And you see, oh, okay, I managed to do that. And I mean, you can probably tell from your own habits that, okay, I'm feeling good, and the data is showing that, okay, you're not snacking as much late in the evening. Keep it up. Then we go to the next month. We look at May, even fewer transactions. However, this month, we have spent a lot more. That's what the KPI is saying. We've spent a lot more. And this is where the spending trend comes in very handy, because we see that for a large chunk of the month, we weren't spending a lot of money. It means we're in saving mode. But then most of the spending came right at the end here. This is then used in conjunction with the visual on the bottom left, the expenses by categories, and you see, oh, okay, we're fine, we're still good. The largest expense was on holiday. So this person was saving up for a major holiday that they were going on sometime soon. So that's what all the savings were for. So it's not a disaster. You've also managed to bring your groceries down. It's now less than what it was in the previous month. By the way, the gold bars are the current month's expense. The white bars are the previous month's expense. I forgot to mention that earlier. So the gold bar is now less than the white bar, saying that, okay, we actually managed to cut down on groceries this month compared to last month. If we're to zoom in on groceries, we'll see that, okay. So once again, the late night snacking isn't a thing. We didn't spend anything at night, which is phenomenal. We've managed to cut down our evening spend. It's another win. and we're spending more in the morning. So we see that, okay, by actually going to the grocery store in the morning, we somehow managed to reduce our total spend at groceries. So going forward, I'm going to start going grocery shopping in the morning and afternoon. Once again, it changes your habit. So I hope I've demonstrated the value of using a dashboard to visualize your spending as opposed to just doing it in Excel. You can really see how you can enhance your plans to change your habits, maybe dietary habits. Maybe you're trying to save for a house, a car, pay down old loans. It tells you where exactly you need to cut back on and it gamifies it. You can look back at previous months, see how you're doing compared to those. And it also shows the value of using Monzo as your bank. This is not a Monzo plug, by the way. I'm not affiliated with Monzo, but it shows the value of using Monzo. If you aren't on it, here is a reward for the both of us by using this link or by scanning this QR code, and you pay for something using Monzo. We'll both get 10, 20, or £50 reward. If you aren't on Monzo, this is only for people who do not have a Monzo account. If you've already created a Monzo account, it won't apply to you, unfortunately. So if you're mobile, don't worry, I'll put the link in the description below. If you'd like me to build this dashboard for you, reach out to me, kanekikojo@gmail.com. And I'll be happy to sit down with you for 30 minutes to understand your needs. The first 30 minutes are free, of course. And then subsequently, the meetings would be charged. And of course, building this dashboard as well would cost. So we'll be able to talk about that in the call, don't worry. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit the like button, subscribe as well if you're new and you haven't already, and share this video out if you know anyone who is trying to change their spending habits. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.